Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Matthew Shiner podcast. And in this episode, we are going to be talking about more about discernment. And so, I'm going to share my own personal advice now in this episode. Of course, there's always advice you can get from other people, but this is my own personal advice and experience. And so, that's one of the things I want to talk about on this channel. And so, that thing is hopefully, this microphone is working. If not, well, that just stinks. But regardless, I've got it plugged in some odd way to connect to my phone that doesn't have a headphone jack. So hopefully it's all working. But that's beside the point. But this is my own personal discernment and vocation advice that I want to share on this channel. And the first thing I want to share in this episode is about, I've talked about a bunch of things in last episode, or one of the most recent episodes. I talked about how your body is a temple. And I talked about confession, and I don't remember what last episode. Oh, it was about religious life, and how I've recommended thinking about religious life as well as not just the priesthood. So this episode, I want to talk about what is it? Oh, helping out at your parish. That's one thing that I think will help out in your discernment, especially altar serving. And that's something that they've actually figured out, is that a lot of the priests were actually altar servers before they became or joined seminary, or they served in high school or in school when they were younger. And so that's the advice I want to give to you today, is get involved at your parish, especially with altar serving. And that's my own personal advice and experience too. And because of altar serving, I believe that's why I really am considering the vocations. So altar serving has been a great experience for me. It's something I highly recommend, especially for young boys. It's a time to be close to the Lord, and it's been a great long-standing tradition in the church for young men to serve. It's a great thing, and it's something that is amazing, something that is a great experience for young men. And so I want to just recommend that for those of you who are discerning. And of course, this is just one part of the advice. This is something that's also helped me. But so altar serving is one thing, but as well as that, there's also lecturing. Lecturing is something else, or Eucharistic minister. Now, Eucharistic minister is usually only for the older grades in high school. I'm waiting to be trained. I could have been trained last year, but I waited until this year, and so this year I will be trained in serving. And then, but also with that, I don't do lecturing. I've only done it a couple of times, not like, because a lot of times with these things, your parish will have like a sign-up sheet and you get and you do it for masses. And so I've been like altar serving, and soon I'll be doing Eucharistic ministering. But like there's also lecturing. And so while it's in my opinion, it's a lot of old ladies and old men who do it, there are some younger people who do it. I've seen at my own parish. And so, but that's one thing I advise you to do, is first altar serving. And so that's something you can start doing in my parish. It's 5th grade. However, I think many parishes will allow you to start doing it once you receive First Communion. My parish, I wanted to do it like for a long time, but I wasn't able to do it until 5th grade, 7th grade. I didn't start it until 7th grade, because then I was able to do it with the school I went to, because I started going to Catholic school in 7th grade. Before then, I was in public school, and I went to 2 different parishes for a while before I was finally able to altar serve. And so what that was both parishes are not too far from my house, but I wasn't able to serve. I don't remember the age they had, but I wasn't able to start until 7th grade. I could have started in 5th grade if I went to that parish before, but of course I didn't, because we didn't know it existed, I think. So, but that is the thing. So altar serving is one thing I'd recommend, and that's something I wish I had been able to do younger. It's something my dad did, and probably his dad before him, but it was something my mother's dad did, and then probably his dad before him. Most of my family is from Poland, so I don't know the full story going back all the way to Poland, but I do know that my grandfather altar served. He can still tell you some of the Latin that they used to do. He still has the Latin Missal. I know I've talked about my modern Latin Missal. And so I'm considering serving at the traditional Latin Mass as well, because probably next year. But what I really want to do is, I'm glad now to be able to altar serve and to also do Eucharistic ministering. That will be something I'm really excited to do. And so I will be being trained very soon for that. So it's something I'm very excited to do. It sounds weird, but I'm excited to be able to uh, to do it. But really, 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 I can't say that enough, really, altar serving. Seriously. If you're considering the priesthood, do altar serving. I can't stress that enough. Because look, if you can look up the numbers, I had like a presentation and all this that I wanted to do. Yeah, I decided not to. Most of these videos are just me speaking off the top of my head. That's kind of why it sounds like I repeat myself, because I don't have a script. I want to do scripting, but I'm not that good at scripting. um, and so I also like recording on the phone and the iPad I was recording on before. The Surface I was recording on a Surface, but that thing took forever to upload the videos. So maybe now I hope I can get it to upload quicker, but regardless of that, it works well on my phone. So I'm recording from here today, and so hopefully everything works out. I completely forgot. I was thinking this morning, it's Monday. I gotta get a podcast episode out. So, because I was thinking about all the other work I have on my other channels, but I remembered, hey, I gotta record a podcast video today. So, it'll be up. And it'll be up on Spotify too. You can check it out on Spotify. It's also called the Matthew Schreiner Podcast. On YouTube, it's called Matthew Schreiner. That's just the channel name. And it's at Matthew Schreiner Catholic, no spaces, no nothing, just that. And then on podcasts on Spotify, it's Matthew Schreiner Podcast, and I don't know anything else about it. I've got a website too. I don't know if that website's. I don't know where anything is on here, so I've been working on the website. There's a blog on there too. The blog has been pretty bare. Starting soon, I will be posting like new episode up. And so I also write documents too. But this podcast and this YouTube channel and all that is meant for, first off, my vocation advice, my own journey with discernment, and then just anything else I feel like talking about. For example, your body's a temple, or confession, although that kind of had to do with discernment. So my point is, throughout this, there's going to be different things and different topics and all that. I might talk about the news when news comes out, and I'm also not planning on getting any political, at least now. And so, I mean, Pope Francis has talked about the election, and so I'm not going to be talking about what he said. I might talk about it privately with other people, but I'm not posting my political opinions on here, at least with the elections in America and all that. If you want to hear about what the Catholic Church says about elections, Catholic Answers, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, and I guess the Pope as well, even though, I mean, hey, he's offering his opinion, and he has the right to do so. But regardless, I'm not sharing my opinion for a while. I can't even vote, so my opinion is not going to do much. Of course, my opinion is go and vote. Stand for your Catholic faith. Pope Francis says, go and vote. Hey, I'm here because I'm Catholic. Get your voice heard. You can, it's, voting is a right you have, and it's something you should be proud of. I don't know. I've gotten off the cuff now. What are we talking about? Altar serving and how I'm not getting political? Yeah, this video ended up going off the rails quickly. So yeah, altar serving. You get to be close to Christ. So that's something else, and maybe I'll talk about this more in another video, but you get to be close to Christ. You get to be close to the priest. You get to see what's going on in the liturgy. We stand up there for the offertory, when the priest offers the bread and the wine on the altar. And so we go down into the front of the altar when the priest gets the hosts and the wine, and then we are up on the altar. We hand the deacon the wine and the water, as he said, and he says, by the mystery of this water and wine, may we come to share in the divinity of Christ, who humbled himself to share our humanity. Maybe you don't hear it exactly, it's said really quietly. I said it loudly, but this happens at the altar. You get to see all these things happening at the altar, the offertory, when the priest holds up the bread. You might even get to hear the priest say those words, but you get to see him pour the water and the wine. You get to see him offer up that chalice. You get to hear him as he washes his hands. He says certain prayers. And so it's a great experience to be right up close to the altar. I've always sat in the front row. Obviously, I was young, but I'm also short still. So I like to sit up near the front so I can see what's going on. Because when everybody stands, I can't see anything. All I see is backs and heads. So I really have to like look through the cracks to see what's going on up there. Maybe that's one of the reasons I want to be a priest. But when I remember sitting up in the front back at my first parish, and I always remember just wanting to sit up near the front to see what's going on. I remember getting up to sit in the choir loft, but I can't remember everything from those times when I sat up front. That was when I was really young. I still do like to go and sit up front, but that's one of the things I like about serving. Or I play the organ too. Now, music is something that's not really open for young people. Altar serving is. Reading, not really, and Eucharistic ministering, definitely not. Again, every parish, every diocese has different rules and regulations, and if you are a TLM parishioner, then reading and Eucharistic ministering is not an option. So, sorry guys. Better luck next time. I don't know. But yeah, altar serving is definitely my advice. Getting involved in choirs, if you have a children's choir, or if you have, maybe your adult choir allows children, I don't know. I've personally, or maybe you have a regular choir, I don't know. Every parish is different. But we have a children's choir that does Christmas and Easter, and at one point it was also Sunday masses, but that I don't think she is doing that anymore. But I also do the adult choir. Once I graduated 8th grade, I was able to come and do it. I remember, I think when I was in 7th or 8th grade and seeing the choir, and I asked, when can I join? And she was like, at the end of 8th grade when you graduate. And so I stayed true to my word to her then, and I did it all of last year, and I will probably continue doing it next year. I didn't do it all of the year. There were some days where I was surfing too. I still enjoy doing serving, even in high school. So that's my advice, serving. That's all I can tell you. And so more coming soon. And so that's it for today, and I will see you on Thursday. I was going to say Friday. No. I also do one other YouTube channel. I do it's a technology channel called The Atari Guy, and on that channel I do technology. It's a lot based off of the old technology, Atari, and so, but that's it, and so I will see you next time.